the Monday, February 9th, 2026 Blue Springs Planning Commission meeting to order. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tracy, can I get a roll call, please, for attendance?
Of course. Commissioner Howe?
Here.
Commissioner Graham? Commissioner Cradoff?
Present.
Commissioner Sanderson?
Present.
Commissioner Smith? Present. Commissioner Stokenberry?
Present.
Commissioner Pumphrey?
Present.
Commissioner Ingersoll?
Present.
Chairperson Henry?
Present. Thank you, Tracy. At this time, I would entertain a motion for approval on the consent agenda for the approval for the last meeting, which was on December 22nd, 2025.
Chair, I
Yes.
move to approve the minutes
I have a
from
motion.
December
About a second.
22nd.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. At this time, I will open the public hearing for UDC text amendment UDCT-01-26-9774 short-term rentals. I will ask for exhibits from our city attorney, Josh Newell.
City would like to enter Exhibit 1.
Thank you, Josh. And at this time, I understand Nick is ready for a presentation.
Yes. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Nick Hutchison. I'm the Interim Director of City Development. Before you tonight is the proposed UDC text amendment related to short-term rentals. The purpose of this amendment is not to prohibit short-term rentals, but to establish a more clear and enforceable standard that will address life safety, neighborhood compatibility, and tax compliance. This item comes forward in response to City Council direction and community concerns related to short-term rental operations, particularly around noise, parking, occupancy, and the city's ability to ensure hotel-motel tax compliance. At a high level, this amendment modifies 3 sections of the code. First is Chapter 605, Business Licensing, and establishing annual registration for short-term rentals, requiring a local responsible agent for anybody operating a short-term rental, sets operational and performance standards, creates a graduated enforcement framework. Section 2 is Chapter 655, Hotel and Motel, which clarifies that short-term rentals are subject to hotel-motel tax and requires either direct remittance or documentation of platform remittance of the tax. And third is the Unified Development Code, providing clarification that short-term rentals are provided a permitted residential use wherever dwelling units are allowed, and confirms that operational standards live in Section 605. The key operational standards for short-term rentals are occupancy has to be 2 persons per legal bedroom plus 2 additional occupants, with a maximum of 10 occupants unless otherwise approved by the fire marshal. Parking includes 1 off-street parking space per bedroom up to 4 spaces. For properties in downtown, on-street parking in a quarter-mile area may be used to satisfy this requirement. For noise and events, quiet hours are from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. and outdoor amplified sound is prohibited during this time. There are no commercial or ticketed events allowed in short-term rentals. Life safety requires smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and fire extinguishers, and they'll be required to provide code-compliant ingress and egress. The local contact, a responsible agent must be available 24/7 and respond on site within 60 minutes. And this text amendment was presented to the Development Advisory Committee at their January 20th meeting, and they recommended approval to Planning Commission, City Council. Based on this analysis provided in the staff report, staff recommends approval of the UDC text amendment and short-term rental as presented. I do also want to note that the Kansas City Regional Association of Realtors did provide a letter this afternoon, and that was sent out to the board, and it's also a part of the record. The primary concerns were for parking and the adequacy of parking for historic properties. And then the second was the requirement for a responsible agent. They felt like that was too restrictive. A lot of the other communities within the Kansas City metro require a responsible agent to be either on site at all times or live on an adjacent parcel. So we basically have made it a little bit more flexible and saying, you know, within a 60-minute response time, which would cover most of the Kansas City metro, it would be compliant with, you know, most property management operations. Happy to answer any questions the commission may have.
So does this apply to, is this a 30-day? What's the time limit for the short-term rental?
So the definition for short-term rental is anything under 31 days.
And would this apply to somebody who's like owner occupied, living there and renting a room, or like renting like a couch surfing sort of situation?
So if they were doing couch surfing and it was under 31 days, then they would be considered a short-term rental. If they were over that 31 day, then they would not be considered a short-term rental.
Basically, it's for like Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is what this is for.
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's-
I've stayed at a lot of Airbnbs over the last 10 years, and I've never had one that had a 60-minute response time in any state or city that I've been in. Like, I understand the thinking, but we don't hold apartment complexes, townhouses, and other property management companies that lease to people who pay them monthly fee. I don't think that's fair for short-term rental people either. That's my personal opinion. So I think 24 hours is sufficient. The thing is, who's gonna police 60 minutes? Like, nobody polices the slumlords here.
It's not requiring them to necessarily respond in that 60-minute period. It's saying that they are located in that 60-minute.
Yeah, I don't like that. We don't require the slumlords around here to do that. I don't think we should require an Airbnb. That's my personal opinion.
Could you reiterate what prompted this discussion tonight? What was the council's reason, or I think you mentioned council wanted to discuss.
Correct. Yeah. So especially with World Cup coming up this spring, you know, there's been an increased demand and interest in short-term rentals, not only in Blue Springs but across the metro. And so City Council had tasked staff with creating regulation for short-term rentals as, you know, they present themselves for Blue Springs, because currently there are no regulations for short-term rentals. And it's essentially creating a level playing field for the hotel motel tax for hotels and other rental properties that are paying that tax, which, you know, currently short-term rentals are not, you know, somebody that's listing a property on Airbnb or some other platform, they are currently not remitting that tax for a short-term rental in Blue Springs.
How are you determining there's a high demand here in Blue Springs?
Just based off of research that we've had from Mark and other you know, organizations talking about the prevalence and the interest of short-term rentals. We get inquiries frequently about people wanting to start a short-term rental in Blue Springs, but we don't currently have any regulations, so there isn't anything that would apply to their operations.
Question, Chair. Can you define what you mean by the 60-minute response time? So are they just supposed to answer a phone call within 60 minutes, or do they have to address the issue in 60 minutes?
The way it's written is the 60-minute requirement is the person who's the responsible agent has to reside in that 60-minute radius. That's not to say that there is no specified response time in the code for that responsible agent.
It's to me, it seems like it's aimed to keep companies out of it, which I understand that. Like, I 100% understand that. Just
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking that, you know, the 60 minutes, if they're just asking someone to live within that radius and be available for a phone call.
Yeah.
Because, you know, someone's kitchen is flooding 24 hours, you're gonna need to address that more quickly, right? So having a 60-minute being available to address it, or just, you know, be available to answer a phone call, I think is reasonable.
Yeah.
So I get the intent, I think.
Yeah.
I
And it's
I
really,
like it.
and it's also too in the interest of city staff and resources, because, you know, a lot of these will ultimately go to PD, and, you know, we don't need our police officers responding to short-term rental issues and complaints on a excessive, you know, amount. So having that responsible agent that can handle these calls and deal with the situation without it escalating to that level would be in the interest of the community as a whole.
What happens to the agents that live out of state?
They wouldn't qualify as a responsible agent because they wouldn't be,
If-
well, I mean, I guess they could live in Kansas
The 60-minute.
as long as they're in a 60-minute radius from Blue Springs.
I've got a couple. First of all, the Development Advisory Committee, who is that? And tell me about that that group. Is it a city board?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so the DAC is composed of 5 members. I can pull that up for you.
I'm not asking who, just.
But the role of the DAC is to review any text amendment or
Okay.
policy changes to the UDC or city policy, and make that recommendation
Okay.
to Planning Commission.
I also have similar concerns as my fellow commissioners, along with a few additional ones. Item G does say that the agent shall be available 24 hours a day and respond on site within 60 minutes to complaints or emergencies. So even a minor complaint, the way I'm reading this, the way it's worded, which is why I cannot support this the way it's worded, is it clearly says the agent must be available 24 hours per day and respond on site within 60 minutes to complaints or emergencies. I could understand if that was an emergency, but certainly no complaints. So I have the same concern with that, along with just a few other minor ones about the way this is written. Scroll back up to item D. It's talking about trash, refuse containers, placement and removal in accordance with city collection schedules. Does the city have a collection schedule? Because my trash service sets the collection schedule. So I'm wondering if that was just cut and pasted from somewhere else, or if there's a collection schedule I'm not aware of. And I didn't take the time today to go to Airbnb or VBRO and check other listings, but without doing, excuse me, more due diligence on my own under item H, the listing disclosure, and I'm not being judgmental here, but I would really want to explore if other municipalities are requiring listings that include the city registration number, the occupancy limit, the parking instructions, and quiet hours. The way I'm reading that is that all those things have to be included in a listing online somewhere. And that seems excessive to me. I also have some questions about how they collect the tax. Item 655.130, item B says operator shall file monthly returns or provide documentation that a booking platform is collecting taxes. Is that normal for to require a business or hotels to file monthly or quarterly? Again, I'm not saying it's bad or wrong. I just don't know. It sounds excessive to me, but if that's normal, then I'd be okay with that. Those are my small concerns. My greater concerns are that we are a body that approves everything that we see on a regular basis, and including text amendments. We rarely see text amendments. Mm-hmm. We're used to plats, final plats, subdivisions, signs, new buildings going up, new coffee shop, a new restaurant, parking spaces, lighting, landscaping. We're all used to that. We're not used to this. I can't support this because in a sense, I almost feel like I'm not qualified to vote it, but yet we're put in this position, so therefore I am. What would make me feel better about voting for it is, and I don't want more meetings in my life, but if there was some kind of workshop or if we were given different materials that help us get a base work or ground zero or baseline, then I would feel more comfortable doing my job as a commissioner and voting yes or no. But the way it's written right now, I struggle and I probably won't, and that's my thoughts about it. I do think, additionally, that the city needs something like this. I just think it needs to be kicked back with some more discernment and consideration.
And
That's my comments.
To that, I have one other comment in reading it. There's some life safety items in the ordinance, the text amendments that talks about carbon monoxide, fire extinguishers. And what we're asking is for an owner or a landlord or somebody doing it to self-certify. And I would think that from a hotel, if we're thinking about collecting hotel taxes, that a hotel is having a fire marshal come annually and check those things and make sure that's all good. And so that was something just in reading it that kind of said, like, if we're wanting to set a standard that this is a hotel and collect the hotel tax, then we should have some enforcement in the life safety and confirmation.
I concur with my colleagues up here because we didn't have enough time to really study this.
Sure.
And it would be nice to get a couple of different perspectives on the matter.
Yep. What we could do is we could table this item and look to schedule a work session, and staff could provide a kind of comparison chart to other communities in the Kansas City Metro and what they're doing. Mark has already put that together, so it's easy for us to access. And we could just do a side-by-side comparison during that work session and go over the details and make changes and then present again.
All right. Having heard that, we are in a public hearing, so I should probably still go to the public, yay or nay. And then afterwards, when it kicks back up here, then we could consider a motion for approval, denial, or tabling. So that's how best we should handle that. So unless there's any more comments from anybody up here, I'm gonna go to the audience. Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this? Seeing and hearing none, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this? Seeing and hearing none, I will close the public comment section of this public hearing. And just one more ask if there's anything else from staff or commissioners. One question I have is that, is there a benefit or does tabling benefit or denial? Is there one better for the city? They don't have to wait a certain amount of time to come back.
Tabling till a date certain would be great.
Okay.
That's what we were working to propose a
Great.
date.
You take a minute and let us know the date that would be best.
Okay. March 9th, Planning Commission would be.
All right, well, okay, well, I will close the public hearing. And at this time, I would ask a motion for the UDC text amendment.
Motion to deny it? Oh, no, to table it.
I have a motion to table to what date? March 9th?
Correct.
To the March 9th meeting. I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Tracy, please, roll call.
Commissioner Cradoff?
Well, I have a question in terms of denying it or tabling it. Can we vote whether we want to do either or is it just that we're going to table it? Is that the decision?
Well, we
To
have a
that tonight?
motion.
The
So
motion is to table, so you can choose to say aye to table it or nay to not table it.
I'm going to vote nay.
Commissioner Sanderson,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry,
Aye.
Commissioner Pumphrey,
Aye.
Commissioner Ingersoll,
I,
Commissioner Howe,
Aye.
Chairperson Henning.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, this motion was tabled until the March 9th meeting, and we'll go from there on that.
Chair,
Yes.
seek clarification, 3-9, I don't have my calendar in front of me. Is that a separate meeting?
It's a scheduled.
It's a scheduled planning
Yep.
meeting. Okay, thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is items number 5 and 7. I will open the public hearing for General Development Plan GDP 12-25-9747 for McAtee Meadows, with the preliminary plat being heard concurrently. I will ask for exhibits from our city attorney, James Newell.
That's March 20th.
I had to open it and then
do you
continue.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
This was continued to the 23rd.
Yes, but I still have to open it, ask for exhibits, and then table it, or
I didn't
continue
get a
from there.
list of the exhibits.
What's that?
I didn't get a list of the
Okay.
exhibits to enter.
Well, nonetheless, the applicant has requested to continue these items to the Monday, March 23rd, 2026 Planning Commission meeting. So do I have a motion to continue? Wait, I'm in a public hearing. Hang on here.
Yeah, you leave it open, we're just setting a motion.
Okay. I'll accept a motion for continuance until March 23rd.
Chair,
Yes.
move to move GDP 12259747 to the March 23rd, 2026 Planning Commission meeting.
Second it.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that has been continued till the March 23rd, 2026 Planning Commission meeting. Continuing the public hearing, next on the agenda, item is number 6. Public hearing is already open for the conditional use permit, CUP 01269781 for illicit tattoo. I will ask for exhibits from our city attorney.
Again, I don't
We
have a
don't
list
have
of the
them.
exhibits.
Chair, may I make a motion?
Sorry.
Yes, we're ready for motion.
Chair, move to CUP 01269781 move to the February 23rd Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion has been continued, and I will close the public hearing. Is there any other business at this time?
Include 9748 and the one with
The last
9747.
one.
We did, okay.
Anything else? If not, I'll close the meeting.
I will accept a motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn the meeting. Adjourn
So
is the word.
moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you all very much, and good night.